Why do you think you're still tired, even when you get enough sleep? Why do you feel sore for days after training or achy even when you don't train? Why do those same nagging pains keep coming back no matter how much you stretch, foam roll, or pop Advil? This is not about willpower. It's not that your body is broken. It's that you've ignored recovery. And by the way, recovery isn't just lying on the couch. It's a skill. And if you want a body that's strong, capable, and pain-free for the long haul, you need to train recovery the same way you train strength or endurance. I'm gonna break down the 3 essentials you need for a recovery plan. They're simple, powerful, and I don't think any of them are gonna be new for you. And to make it easier, I've put together a Recovery 101 action plan. It's a 1-page summary linked in the description below so you can put into practice right away what we talk about. Because if you've ever thought, why am I always tired? Why do I feel older than I am? Why am I not recovering from training? This is your answer. Before we get started, comment below, what would you say is your greatest recovery tool right now? Here's what most people experience. They train hard, they push themselves, but they drag through a day on caffeine. They wake up groggy, they feel stiff, achy, sore, and frustrated because progress feels like it's just always on pause. That's not lazy, and that's not just getting older. That's your body screaming for recovery. Listen, training is stress. Life is stress. Recovery is where your body adapts to that stress. Without recovery, stress just wears you down. With recovery, stress can be the exact thing that built you up. The essentials I'm about to show you are how to flip the switch. And we're starting with my favorite and the foundation. Let's start with the most overlooked recovery tool you already have, your breath. Breathe. Most people are terrible breathers, and I know that sounds crazy, right? How can you be bad at something you do 20,000 times a day? Easy. Because you're doing it wrong without realizing it. Because it's automatic, you don't put thought into it. I mean, test yourself right now. Sit tall, wrap your fingers around your rib cage, take a deep breath in. Do your shoulders hike up and your chin lift? Does your chest puff high and tight while your belly pushed forward? Or did your rib cage actually expand against your fingers, fronts and sides? Belly breathing is often taught as deep breathing, but it's incomplete. Your diaphragm doesn't live in your belly, it lives behind your rib cage. Pushing your stomach out doesn't mean your diaphragm is working. Diaphragmatic breathing is true deep breathing. The rib cage itself expands, out and up on the inhale, down and in on the exhale. That's the test. If your rib cage moves, your diaphragm is engaged. If your rib cage didn't move, you're stuck in shallow breathing. And shallow breathing locks you in fight or flight mode. What does that feel like? Anxiety, headaches, tension in your neck and shoulders, restlessness, poor sleep, constant fatigue, and long-term, high blood pressure, chronic inflammation, cardiovascular risk, and poor recovery. Why? Because breath is the remote control to your nervous system. Shallow chest breathing tells you your body, danger. Diaphragmatic ribcage breathing tells your body, safe. Only when your body feels safe can you adapt and recover. And this ties directly to stress. Training is controlled stress. You add a little more load, a little more challenge to teach your body and your nervous system to adapt. Life stress, though, you can't control. Work, money, family, sickness. Training is practice for how your body handles all stress. But here's the catch. Adaptation only happens when you flip back into recovery. If you never recover, your body never learns to adapt. That's why so many people are stuck. Ask yourself, how did you do on the ribcage breathing test? Did your shoulders rise or did your ribcage expand? Do you live tense, anxious, restless, tired, even though you sleep? Do you deal with tightness, headaches, or constant fatigue? If so, your breath may be the hidden problem. Your action plan for this step 1, nose breathing. Breathe through your nose as often as possible. This calms the nervous system, lowers blood pressure, slows your heart rate, and improves oxygen exchange. Step 2, diaphragmatic breathing. Practice expanding your ribcage 360 degrees. Use box breathing. Inhaling for 4 beats, holding for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. Do this 2 to 3 minutes, especially when stressed. And step 3, when lifting, brace and exhale on exertion. But before training, spend 2 to 3 minutes on diaphragmatic breathing in your warm-up. This primes your nervous system to adapt, not just survive. Breath is the first brick of recovery. Without it, you stay stuck in fight or flight and wonder why you can't adapt. 2, sleep. If breath is the switch, sleep is the power source. True diaphragmatic breathing resets your nervous system during the day, and sleep is where your body should naturally do it all night. But most people never get there. Short-term poor sleep feels like brain fog, irritability, cravings, fatigue. Long-term, it's devastating. People who average fewer than 6 hours a night are 12% more likely to die early. Chronic sleep deprivation increases your risk of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, stroke, dementia, and depression. 1 week of 5 to 6 hours per night makes your body insulin resistant, like pre-diabetic. Here's why. Sleep runs in cycles. Deep sleep is where your body repairs tissues, releases growth hormone, and restores the immune system. REM sleep is where your brain processes memories, learns new skills, and regulates emotions. Cut either short, and you cut progress short. And our culture makes it worse. Artificial light at night suppresses melatonin. Screens keep your brain wired. We stay indoors all day, missing morning sunlight that sets the circadian rhythm. We caffeinate, overstimulate, and undermove. Then we wonder why we can't sleep. Your circadian rhythm is your internal 24-hour clock. Sunlight anchors it. Darkness triggers melatonin. Disrupt it, and your recovery falls apart. So to assess this, ask yourself, do you wake up groggy? Do you need coffee to function? Do you average less than 7 hours? Is sleep the first thing you sacrifice when life gets busy? Your action plan for this: treat sleep like training. Start small, pick one thing to improve. Consistent bedtime, morning sunlight, or cutting screens before bed, and build from there. Get sunlight first thing in the morning. Anchor your circadian rhythm. Create a bedtime routine. Dim lights, no screens, same time each night. And keep your room cool, dark, and quiet, like a cave. Pair breathwork with bedtime. Sleep isn't optional. It's the progressive overload of recovery. Finally, movement. Bet you weren't expecting this one on here, were you? Here's the myth. Recovery means total rest. But in reality, movement is one of the most powerful recovery tools you have. Training is stress. Recovery is adaptation to that stress. That adaptation only happens if you balance stimulus with rest. That's called the rest to stimulus ratio. Too much stress without recovery and you burn out. Balance them and you grow strong. Your body adapts to what you do most. So if you move, it adapts to movement, becoming stronger and more resilient. And if you sit still, it adapts to stillness, getting weaker, stiffer, more fragile. That's how people slowly build prisons inside their own bodies. Too often we feel sore or stiff and just reach for Advil or Tylenol. That's a Band-Aid. It masks the pain but disrupts healing, damages the gut, and blunts the adaptation. If the same pain keeps coming back, investigate the root cause. Don't just numb it. Recovery movement is different from training movement. It's light, restorative, circulation-driven. It increases blood flow, delivers nutrients, flushes waste, and reassures your nervous system, I'm safe. It also builds stability and mobility together, which is what creates lasting change. And stretching alone, I'm sorry to say, won't improve range of motion. It might feel good and increase blood flow, and that's valuable for recovery. But mobility requires strength and control. That's where recovery movement shines. So to assess this, ask yourself, do you stretch the same muscle every day with no progress? Do you always feel tight or achy? Do you avoid movement when sore? Do you rely on pills instead of learning to move through discomfort and use movement as pain relief? Your action plan here is add 5 to 10 minutes of recovery movement post-workout. It's gonna be cat and cows, 90-90 hip switches, wall breathing, foam rolling. Take daily movement breaks, walk, stretch, mobility flows instead of scrolling. Train stability under control, carries, planks, single leg balance, anti-rotation drills. And dedicate one recovery session a week. Yoga, breath-led mobility, or light circuit. Recovery isn't just about removing stress, it's about teaching your body how to adapt to it. So remember those pain points: fatigue, soreness, tightness, always starting over. Those weren't signs you weren't working hard enough. They were signs you weren't recovering smart enough. Breath resets your nervous system. Sleep repairs your body and brain. Recovery movement restores circulation, mobility, and trust in your body. Together, they turn stress into adaptation. So here's your challenge. Recover like you train. Don't wait for recovery to happen by accident. Don't just stop moving. Train it intentionally. Start with breath, practice your sleep, move for recovery. And don't forget to download my free Recovery 101 action plan in the description. It's a one-page summary and with clear steps so you can start this week. No excuses. Now let me know in the comments, what is your greatest recovery tool right now? The strongest people aren't the ones who never stop. They're the ones that know when to push and when to recharge. And people like you, you're built for more. Listen, you've got a lot to do. And in order to stay in the game, you need the recovery skills to keep going strong. So the question is, will you rise to the challenge?